Welcome to the last training module in our Lookup series, and this module is called Index Match. So over here in your Index Match sheet, which is in your Lookups workbook, we have a table which displays various products with their months and their sales. We've also got a combined total as well as which is by month or by product. So what we'd basically like to be able to do is we want to be able to select a particular month and a product to have the total sales for that product month combined. So for example, I'd like to be able to select January, milk, and automatically my formula should give me a result of 397. Now, as you know, we've previously done an index function, which is the best way to do this. However, our previous index function did specify the row and column reference. In this case, the row and column references are text, which makes it a little bit difficult. So we need to break down this formula first and then see if we can put it together in one single formula. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to be able to type in the month and the product. Now, I'm not a big fan of typing this information in because people do make mistakes. So in this case, I think we should create a drop-down list to make it more accurate. So in the month section, we would like a drop-down of all the months. So to do this, click on the cell where you would like the drop-down list to appear. Click on your Data tab on the top of the screen, and you'll see there's a button that is called Data Validation. When you click on this, a little settings box will pop up, and this is where you need to choose under the settings heading to allow a list. Once you've selected that, in your source box you can then select the list of all the data you want. In this case, I'm going to include total in case we do want to search by that criteria. Once you're done, you click OK. I'm now going to do the same validation in the products box. Click on Data Validation, allow a list, and my source is going to be my source of products including the combined values. You can now see that when I go to those cells, I can now choose actual months to make this easier for me to work out. Right, now that we have our month and our product data, we now need to determine in which row location is our month and which row location is our product, so that we'd be able to create the index function. So to find a location of a particular cell data, we use the match function, which we learned earlier. So here we want to match. The value will be our month. The lookup array will be these values over here, and the match type will be exact. So this should be able to tell us in which row of our table will we find the month. I'm just going to zoom that into the middle. For the products, we're going to do the exact same thing, except we're going to select the columns where the data exists. So we're going to match our product. Our lookup value, our lookup array will be this entire column heading over here, and our match type will be exact. And I'm just going to format this in the middle in the same way. So I can see April is the fourth month, sugar is the fourth product. Let's change it now to milk. It should then change accordingly. So now we've got our two row and column number references, which will make our sales, which is our index function, a lot easier to create. So my array, remember the index function, you don't include the headings. It is purely the data. I've included the total and the combined cells because I did include them in the headings as well. Remember, if you were going to copy this formula down, you would have to lock the cells. You can lock them anywhere, it doesn't really make a difference. Then for my row number, I'm going to select my match function, which gives me my month. And for my column number, I'm going to select my match function that gives me my products. So this should now give me the data that I'm looking for. So let's test the theory. For April and milk, there's April, here's milk. We should have a return of 185, which is exactly what we have. However, there must be a way that we can include this into a single formula. So let's give it a try. Firstly, we always start out with the index because that is what we're trying to do. The array values will stay the same. And this is where we need to determine a row number. So instead of clicking on a match function, why not do the match function with inside of your formula? So we need to match the month in this particular lookup array, and we want an exact match. So that is your row number reference. Don't forget to close the parentheses to take us back to the index function. Then we're going to put in a comma and do the same thing with our column reference. We're going to match the product in that particular row of data. And again, we want an exact match, and we're going to close our parentheses. Now that is the end of our index function, but we've just closed the parentheses on our match function. So don't forget to close an additional parentheses to close our index function. And we get the exact same answer. So now we can actually delete this information because we could have done it with a single formula, and we can test our theory by selecting September, wine, and let's have a look. 493 is the correct answer. So index and match are often used together because match allows you to locate the row and column references that are so important for your index function to work.